will you do when they catch you? What will you do if they break you?
Okay, now if you stick around, we'll go into spoilers now if you've seen the movie. It's actually
spoilers.
there are moments towards the end of this, it gets bleak. It's hard to sit through. When like I said, there were some of the characters we didn't know their names, so we didn't invest in as much. But the characters that we did invest in, it's hard to watch them all leave the movie. We all kind of theorized and thought that not everybody was going to make it out of this movie. I was unsure if everybody wasn't making it out, and to see we spent now this movie building the mission with them, and we want them, and we like them, we want them to succeed, but to watch them one by one sacrifice themselves for the greater good of the cause was rough. So one by one, they all do perish, and it gets a little difficult there.
It was. I mean, I cried when the robot died.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just, out of the characters I really wanted to survive, I thought a robot, wouldn't have been he's the guy that makes it out, and everyone's one or two guys are on the ship, but they're dead because
especially when it comes to your main character, Jyn Erso. Okay, maybe she'll survive because she's your lead, and you want at least the lead to go on and tell the tale of remember the day we stole the Death Star plans. But even if she doesn't make it out alive, like I said, Vader's not in it a whole lot. So if you're going in to see Vader, I was like, oh, Vader's back. I can't see him dominate the screen. He's in it 4 minutes. I might be highballing. He has a little bit of a speech, but at the end it will pay off. He does get the final. We always want to see Vader wreck shop, and he finally does. They got the plans, and it's right before A New Hope. It's that cruiser takes off, and this is him wrecking shop as they try, and they all board that ship. And we get to see Carrie Fisher, who they did the digital de-aging trick, and it looks just like her. Bail Organa's in there. We get a reference to Blue Milk. We get Pig Nose is in there from the Tatooine bar.
Yeah,
he gets a little nod. So it's they do a really good job of populating with these Easter eggs, if you notice some of those things.
And also the general guy, the guy that's in charge.
They did a really good job of casting. I mentioned casting in the non-spoiler section, but casting Peter Cushing, who was kind of in charge over Vader in A New Hope, who tells him to fire on Alderaan. They got a guy that looks just like him.
Yeah,
it's uncanny. They did it with several of the characters in here. What we were mentioning, we couldn't tell, Rogue Leader. When the final fight happens, the final space battle. You have the Red Leader, the Red Squadron, who is the team that does the assault on the Death Star in A New Hope. And we couldn't tell if they were using some of the shots from A New Hope because the pilots are the same.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was confused. I was like, "Hey Shane, is that?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's not him, but it's someone else." And I'm like, "Jeez!" I mean, it's so realistic. I was like, "Man." It's like a transition to the movie.
Yeah, you can literally, if after the credits they started A New Hope, there wouldn't be much. There'd be 2 minutes of them, the cover or the cruiser flying away, and then the big ship in pursuit.
Yeah, Death Star. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was crazy. Literally, right up until A New Hope starts.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. I mean, the whole Star Destroyer and the Death Star. If this Death Star can travel fast, why didn't it just go after him? But that was the one thing that was weird about the movie, because they even said that lights, they're going light speed and they were going to go through that, but they didn't. I was like, man, they just don't move that thing that much. I guess it takes a lot of energy to move it, but it makes sense because then that means they can't go anywhere too fast and then blow up everything. It would have been 2 seconds. But that's funny because, they did a really good job transitioning that in. It was really, that's how it was. I mean, they actually broke out really quick, and it was get the plans. And I'm like, holy crap, these guys are dying, and Darth Vader's on their heels for real. And I'm like...
He's throws the guy up into the ceiling, and he's holding there with the Force as he's wrecking everybody else with his lightsaber. Then hits that guy on the ceiling, and then stabs the guy through the door. Just it's just Vader, the anger and the hate that it's always been alluded to, but we've never actually seen him go full force.
Yeah.
So probably they all die is the major spoiler that I didn't want to say in the non-spoiler section. We alluded in the non-spoiler section that had a rocky start. When I said when I opened and I said a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away is the closest you'll get to Star Wars. Is after that, Everybody in movie history knows what happens after that. Not this time around. There's no Star Wars. There's no opening crawl. After that, we go right into the movie. It snaps onto the screen. And we get some backstory on Jyn Erso and her father. Her father is works for the Empire Science Division, who is the brainchild behind the Death Star. And they've come to recruit him back or steal him back
because he left. And
nobody else can figure out how to complete the Death Star.
Yeah.
And then after we see their fate, Jin's mom dies. We get her father kidnapped. Jin's on her own now at a young age. Then it goes and says Rogue One in the Star Wars lettering, and then it goes back into the movie. And at that, there's a disconnect just because of all the Star Wars movie. Even the Clone Wars have done it. You got the Star Wars theme. You got it where it says Star Wars. I think it's an important part of Star Wars. I know they're not going to do it for these anthology ones, but there needs to be something in between.
Yeah,
it needs to say Star Wars.
Yes, it needs to, because it was just confusing. Because I know we went into the right theater. It's just it was confusing because they just started the movie and it's like, wait, this is Star Wars. I mean, we got to have something pop up on the screen say Star Wars.
That's just traditional.
And then the music, it was silent. It was like you could hear a pin drop. Man, it was just weird. I was like, and then I'm like, wow, this is the movie. Okay. But anyway, yeah, that's just a little gripe we have with it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they fix it in the DVD or Blu-ray, then fine, that's great. But right now, as we're talking about it, it's the first day.
It was just interesting choice to not do something that is one of the greatest fanfares in movie history.
Yeah,
it's right up there with It's right up there with like the 007 gun barrel. Casino Royale didn't have that, and it just felt strange. It felt off. So that would be one of the things I'd point out. Dark's casting is really good. Beautifully shot movie. There's a huge battle in this one, both on the ground and in space. And it's been, that's been done like episode 1. We had the Gungans fighting, the Naboo, and then Darth Maul, and we had the space battle, and then we even like Return of the Jedi, we had the fighting happening on with the Ewoks planet. No, you're in the comment section. Like, it has a name, that planet. That's the Ewok planet. Indoor. So,
there you go.
And then the space battle. So there's always been they've always had the climaxes that have had multiple battles happening. And I think this one did it extremely well.
Oh, it did better. I mean, like, the Ewoks are, a joke, They're just throwing rocks and shooting bow and arrows at, like, armor. Come on, yeah, we get that. That can't happen, killed. But, this was actually laser against laser, shooting everything.
People, running each other like Braveheart style.
Yeah.
This is what's the war in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting, as you see in the trailer, the the AT-ATs are attacking, but you notice they're not finished. There's actually like holes and stuff and like discolored parts of it.
Yeah.
They haven't actually perfected the AT-AT yet in this part of the story.
Yeah, it was
that
crazy.
They'll use on Hoth later.
Yeah, and also their shields they didn't have shields protecting them, which is weird because I always thought that they had shields, but these ones, they just got hit by the X-Wings and they went down quick. It wasn't not like they used those missiles to shoot at them and break their shield. No, it was just full on, just boom, and that's it. They're gone. They were toast. I was like, wow, those things are usually like indestructible. I mean, you got those speeders, flying around in Hoth, and it's like they can't do anything. It's too strong. And then now these are just like, I was like, wow.
That goes back to like Star Wars, where people's like, what feels Star Wars to you? It's the universe that feels lived in, which is why the prequels are such disconnect, where everything's smooth and shiny and looks fake.
Yeah.
Where even though there was such big scale things happening, I know there's no such thing as a Star Destroyer, not in real life, or AT-ATs. It looked fairly real.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was impressive. The space battle I thought was doubly so. You have at the climax of the battle, one of those tug ships of the rebels that runs into one of the Star Destroyers. It's crashing and runs it into another Star Destroyer so it can run it into the planet and break the shield. It is a very impressive shot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and then they do some stuff with, Rebels, spoilers for that, too, that they have a ship in there that the Rebels actually have from all that. And it's crazy. That ship was just unique. And one of kind, because they only had 3 of them, and they had it in the movie. And I was like, wow, So that's where it went, and I'm glad that they're paying homage to the lore from the actual older stuff and actually keeping it, cohesive. I think it's cool that they're doing that.
So it's one of those things where seeing it in the movie is really cool.
Yeah.
Knowing everything else rewards you even more. So it doesn't take away anything if you don't know, but if you know, it adds to your experience.
It means that they're actually having something, and that that, and it's like, oh, I feel like I'm the smart one in here. But everyone should know this stuff. But like they took the lore and they just pushed it away.
This being our longest video yet, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Star Wars Rogue One, a solid entry into the Star Wars franchise. I see this franchise going for a long, long time. I think with the Han Solo one coming up and whatever they go from here, I think I'll always like the episodes a little bit better than the standalone ones. But that doesn't... I still think this is one of... I mean, with the prequels are prequels, and we'll just have to accept at this point. But like I said, this is the best of the prequels. It's right up there with some of the best Star Wars movies. I think I like the episodes a little bit better. I'm already looking forward to Episode 8, but I'm glad we get these. Because I feel like Episode 8 episodes are the entrees, and we get these fun little appetizers in between Han Solo, Rogue One, to keep us waiting instead of having to get, we got to wait 2 years for the next episode. But that's fine because we get these fun little adventures that explore the galaxy a little bit more in between. But we still, the main focus is really on the episodes and now Rey's storyline and where Luke's going to go from here. So you still stick with the high B. I'm going to go with the A, and we'll call it good until 365 days, counting now. Episode 8, untitled right now. Well, why don't we have our trailer yet? It's a year out. Why don't we have our trailer yet?
I don't know. I think it'll be in the first of the year, and then we'll see it. And that's what's going to happen. It will be a teaser.
Well, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time right here on Red Reviews.